Well, look what just showed up. It's the blower for the heat treating oven we got going on. And so what I'm about to do right here is I gotta take it apart, take this cover off so I can get this, which is gonna be the start of the tubing or piping that's gonna, you know, eventually lead into the oven. But I gotta get this to fit in there, so I gotta take this off to fit this in there. I haven't got the rest of the piping yet. All I've got so far was this stainless piece that I ordered from Amazon and this rubber coupler thing I found at Track Supply the other day. I'm gonna have to actually go to Ace Hardware or Lowe's or some other place like that that actually carries a bigger variety and longer sections of you know, metal piping. I've also, since the previous video, added a couple more layers of concrete to the outer portion of the oven outside. So I've probably got like 1 or 2 more layers to do, but that's nearly done. So it's coming together. You know, it may wind up taking the rest of the week doing it kind of piecemeal to have it done, but I imagine that, you know, here pretty soon it'll be a functional heat treating oven slash forged deal. Although I doubt I ever use it for forging anything. Maybe might use it for some aluminum casting or something, but honestly, I've never even done that. That would just be something to kind of play around with for fun if I had time. Probably should have plugged this in and tested it before doing this, in case I had to return it, seeing as how undoing all these screws is just destroying the paint. But didn't really think about it. And that screw's already stripped to shit. Probably gonna have to scrape some paint out of it to be able to loosen that one. Yeah, it looks like all of them except for the one that's giving me problems. Okay, so I didn't film that part, but I wound up having to mutilate that screw with a Dremel just to be able to get it out of there. And I guess I'm not going to do a full review on this thing, but I'll at least share some thoughts. I thought this was going to be a lot more heavy duty, or just from the pictures and the way it looked online, but it's really, I mean, it was only like 90 bucks, so I guess I can't complain too much, but I thought it was going to be more robust or you know, like I didn't realize it was just going to be like how thin the metal was going to be on it, and how, you know, the paint sucks on it, and the screws are such soft metal that you can hardly even unscrew them without just completely trashing them. But I probably should have known better buying something from Amazon. Oh well. Budget life. This shit's pretty janky looking inside. Check that out. It's just rough looking. I don't know if you can, yeah. That screw right there holding that in doesn't look like, yeah, it's definitely some Chinese shit. But okay, so that's where this is gonna go. God damn, I'm gonna have to fucking alter this for this to fit, I think. There's gonna be more Dremel shit. Because this is just slightly too big, if you can see there, to fit that. God damn it. I don't know what I'm going to do. This is going to require some more thinking. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking to try and get this to fit. I'm going to take the sanding little wheel deal here on the Dremel, and I'm going to, you know, go around the outside of the stainless insert piece that's supposed to fit in there a little bit to bring it down to the size it needs to be to actually fit in there. It looks like it's hardly doing jack shit. Damn it. I'm gonna try and put on a different kind of, another sanding wheel. See if another one works better than that one. I wish I had a fucking flapper wheel, but one of those is at work, not here, or day job. Okay, so I think I may have got it to fit finally. I wound up having to do a whole lot of dicking with files, Dremel, bench grinder, all sorts of shit. Not even sure if that did anything, because in the end I just wound up kind of brute forcing it in there, and I'm about to try and, you know, close the thing back up. If there winds up being a gap, I might just use an epoxy, because it was taking way too fucking long trying to dick with all that other shit. And I got more important things to be doing. Sorry if it's kind of loud and you can't hear me. That's my washing machine in the background. I started doing laundry before I realized that I was going to just shove this shit in there, and so if it was going to get filmed, that was how it was going to get filmed. Yeah, I probably could have done that without grinding on that stainless part, so that was probably just a waste of an hour and a half of my life trying to go that route. But oh well, live and learn. Oh, I also did, to help with some of the fitting, I used the Dremel to sand away some of the green paint on the inside of this part right here, as well as grinding a little bit of it out of there, just like towards the front of it. But like I said, I don't know if that helped or not. It's something I did. We'll see. Yeah. That's probably going to require a little bit of epoxy right there to seal up that gap to get a better seal in that area. And you know, I bought the piece of stainless after I, you know, took the time to research the size of the hole the stainless goes into, so it should all match out. The reason this is becoming such a bullshit problem is lack of tolerances in manufacturing. It's not going back together perfectly aligned up, but it's going back together good enough for what it is. So all the screws are back in it. I'm gonna have to go in there and blow off all that grinding shit right there from that rubber piece, but so you can see that it went back together fairly well. Not perfect, but good enough. There's a little bit of a gap there that wasn't there before. You can see, it's just a little bit out of alignment. I'm gonna try and torque down some more on some of these screws. And then, like I said earlier, right there, that part, that's just gonna have to have epoxy or something there to seal that up. Hell, I may wind up throwing a layer of epoxy just around the whole thing to seal it up and just use it how it is. I know it's kind of janky, but everything I do in my life is kind of janky. But yeah, so I guess now we'll go plug it in, and after we read the instructions and, you know, just make sure this thing even fucking works before doing the epoxy and then going out there and doing some midnight concrete work on the damn thing. Okay, here's a test run of the blower. Blows pretty hard. There's a little bit of air coming out that gap right there where I was talking about epoxying it. I may try and see if I can just, well, either way I'll probably wind up with epoxy, but I may put another like pipe clamp right there on it as well and try and suck it closer together, but it's blowing air pretty good, so at least it functions. So it's not the most useless piece of Chinese garbage. And so I'm trying to also figure out how I want to do this, but so the blower is going to go somewhere down here. The ladder is going to have to move. This thing, some metal came in, is going to have to move. And I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to mount the blower to. If I'm going to mount it to the side of this cabinet type deal here, or if I'm going to build some little wooden thing it mounts to, because the blower is going to go and have a tube coming out this direction that's going to go through that hole right there where the water hose is going through, and that's how it's going to get out, and then the piping will continue to get to the actual heat treat oven. So still got quite a bit to go in this project, but hey, at least nothing catastrophic's happened yet to where it's just a huge setback. Okay, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but not for shit. Need a flashlight. But I did do another layer of concrete in here yesterday, and if you can kind of tell, I rearranged the whole setup that I was using for framing it. I actually this time screwed the wood together instead of just having it jankily set there for the first couple of layers. But I'm about to add another layer, even though it's dark outside. I will not be filming, or layer of concrete. I will not be filming that because it's dark. It's a waste of fucking time.